What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you read the title, then you already know what this video is about to be about. Listen, so my goal is to pretty much get a life. And if you're like me and you're trying to get a life, it's hard to get a life when you don't have good credit. It's just hard. Um, I know I come from a family where credit was talked about, but it wasn't really in depth talked about. So a lot of the credit things that I've learned, I had to learn by trial and error and by doing research. So when I tell you I started from the bottom, now I'm here, I really started from the bottom. So this is not someone who came out with a 750 credit score and is trying to tell you how to get your credit up. This is someone who actually started at the very bottom and now I'm here. So listen, without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So the first thing that you need to do to kind of get that credit on track is to check your credit. Like, how can you try to get your credit up when you don't even know what your credit is? So you need to either go on Credit Karma. There's another one. A lot of the banks now, a lot of the banks actually, you can check your credit. Chase has a credit app now. I think Huntington has credit monitoring and stuff like that. Like, you really need to know your score. So after you know your score, the next thing you need to do is to go through your credit and see what you actually did. You will be surprised what's on there if you have never looked on there or you haven't looked on there in a while. You're like, wait, I never did $1,000 at JCPenney's. Where did this come from? Look at your credit report. The next thing you need to do after you check out your credit report and you make sure that everything's legit, and if things are not legit, you need to dispute them. Don't waste any time. Dispute them with all credit bureaus, and either they fall off or they may not. But it does not hurt to dispute the claims that are not yours. Now, after you dispute them and you make sure that your score is legitimately your score, you did that, no one else did, you need to look for petty debts. So, for example, when I first started working on my credit, I had an electric bill on there for literally, I think it was like $8. I had moved from one area to a different area that had different electricity, and I had a charge for $8. That was on my credit. And it's not like, oh, that's only $8, so that doesn't affect your credit. It all affects the credit the same way. There is no big or little, small, little ding. Like, that's still a negative derogatory mark on your credit. They don't care if it's $2. They don't care if it's $3,000. It's still a negative mark. So the first thing I did was literally go through and all the petty debts that I had, or if you have anything under $500 is a petty debt, and you need to just go ahead and pay. So, and granted, I know not everyone has like money to just be forking out to pay off this debt, because if you had money like that, you wouldn't have bad credit. So my suggestion would be to take either your income tax and pay off a few at a time. You don't have to take your whole income tax and blow it off on just paying your credit or paying your debts off, but set aside a couple hundred or maybe $1,000 if it's that serious, and pay off some of those debts. And eventually you will start to see, as they fall off, your credit will start to improve drastically. Um, Another thing that you can do is call and ask for settlements. There's nothing wrong with it. I know a lot of, especially in the black culture, like bill collectors, you dodge them. Like, that's not somebody you want to talk to. But if you know that that's your debt, then like, stop playing. Like, answer the phone and see what they're talking about. You don't have to give them your information, or so they don't be calling you, harassing you, or sending things to your house. But you can definitely call and see what's up with your debt. Like, a lot of the times they're calling, they want some money, especially if it's say you have a debt with AT&T and it's been over a certain amount of years, eventually they write that debt off and they sell it to a debt collector. So the debt collector has already paid off your debt. So they're just trying to collect some amount of money, just something to get their money back. It may be all of it or it may be some of it. So definitely call and ask for settlements or payment plans. Set up something that is feasible for you to do. Don't let them set the terms. Let you set the term. It's your debt. So if they're saying like, okay, yes, we'll settle with you, but you have to pay $100. If you can't afford $100, let them know. Like, hey, I can't afford $100, but I can do $25 a month until the debt is paid off, or I can do $25 a month for 7 months, and then the last 2 months I can do $100 or something. Set your own terms while you're trying to get your desired credit score. There's this website called Selflender. I first heard about it through I think her name is Budgetnista, and she sent me an email. I had subscribed to her, and she was telling me about this cool little hack. And I can't keep it to myself, so I'm going to tell you about it. It's called Selflender. And basically, you loan yourself money. You take out a loan, and the reason why I do that, air quotes, is because you're not really taking out a loan, but on your credit report, it looks like you're taking out a loan. So you take out a loan for $500, but you don't actually get the money. You pay into that $500 and they put your money in a CD. And while the CD matures for over a year, so say you take out a $100 loan and you're paying $35 or $50 a month on that loan. That money that you're putting is not really paying off your loan. It's sitting in a CD and just compounding on each other, like literally sitting in a CD. And when that year mark comes back, you get your money back minus like I think it's like minus like $100, 100 or $75 or something like that. I can't remember the math, but it's really, really small amount of money to get 100 points boost on your credit report.